There's something terrifyingly enchanting about Mark Mylod's psychological thriller, The Menu. Whether it's the Midsummer-esque soundtrack, the captivating nature of Hawthorne Island, or the mystery and lore surrounding each course, I find myself passionately viewing this film and story like a dream turned nightmare, as if I were promised an experience that few get to enjoy, only to find that its magnificence is the result of the unthinkable.
You will eat less than you desire and more than you deserve.
It's a movie that is far deeper than just a commentary on classism or perfectionism in our society. It's a journey into the darkest recesses of our mind, which conveys much of its meaning through humor and intrigue.
What school did you go to?
Brown?
Student loans? No. I'm sorry, you're dying.
A Best Picture contending character study that...
Right, like it functions like an Epicurean salon.
It's Willy Wonka. Yeah, it's basically Willy Wonka for adults. I'm going to tell you why it works. Why it's...
Here's a cheeseburger.
Overjoyed, enraptured, entranced. Are we ready? Yes. Good. In we go.
As with my previous video on how Jordan Peele's Nope captures the psychology of Jaws to explore the themes of spectacle and the untamable power of nature,
Here's to swimming with bow-legged women.
The Menu is a modern and mature version of the Roald Dahl childhood classic Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory.
It reminded me of like Willy Wonka a little.
I don't write horror stories, I write funnies.
Let's start with the setup. Hawthorne and Wonka's Chocolate Factory are similar settings, and not just because they're about food, they're about elite food.
There's a difference.
These settings are magical because they unveil what's hidden behind a curtain that few have the chance to see, and the labyrinth that's set up to display this is meant to entice our curiosity.
What is this, Wonka? Some kind of fun house?
Why, having fun?
The Chocolate Factory is a mysterious wonder to everyone, and Hawthorne Island is a luxurious restaurant of legend that few have also seen.
Our menu is too precious for that.
Please do not photograph our dishes.
What madness and creativity are produced behind the walls are constantly talked about and debated, while the truth is much harder to swallow.
You should open your mouth a little wider when you speak.
What's actually going on is some cult-like control over a tormented population of abused workers who admire to the point of worship their savior, a megalomaniac whose fame and reputation have come to destroy him.
How can you do a thing like this? Build up a little boy's hopes and then smash all his dreams to pieces. You're an inhuman...
It's just part of the menu. It's part of the show. This is what...
As the guests see more of the setting, their blindness only reveals their inner character. Both Hawthorne and the Chocolate Factory are used,
Be cleansed.
and their intrigue gives way to disappointment and truths about society as a whole.
To be seen in this exclusive club. They want to belong to this family, to this movement with this cult leader of Chef Slowick up there. There's so much this human need to belong on some level.
Showing off. Figured out how to work the Google on the internet machine.
Let's talk about our villains, Julian Slowick and Grandpa Joe.
Look at me. Look at me. Look at me.
I'm kidding, it's obviously Wonka.
Stop, don't come back.
Both of these characters have placed their guests in convoluted concepts
You know what a concept is, Tyler?
with the ultimate goal of having them realize their social systems that they're in and punishing them for the first time in their spoiled lives. Wonka and Slowick also don't respect their guests in the slightest, and the deadpan roast back and forth are some of the best parts of both movies.
Memory of your face in that film. Seeing you again now haunts me.
You sure this thing will float, eh, Wonka?
With your buoyancy, sir, rest assured.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine.
And then there's our main characters, Charlie and Margot. We all know a Charlie Bucket. He's the well-mannered kid who, despite all of his troubled upbringings, transforms into a hopeful and resilient character by the end of the movie. Grandpa Joe, on the other hand...
You're a cheat and a swindler.
Charlie has to show Wonka that there's still hope for the outside world. And even though he's lost his spark, the joy of chocolate will go on. Margot has a similar arc. She has to realize her place in the class system the restaurant is divided into, then she has to find a way out, literally and figuratively. Margot must also humanize Slowik one last time, and she does so also by figuring out the one thing that makes him happy.
You won! You did it! You did it!
That is a cheeseburger.
Okay, themes. Both of these movies challenge either kids or adults to think about social systems that they live in and the consequences of their actions. The Oompa Loompas sing about it, and each course urges the guests to think about it too.
Starting to get it.
Really?
Yeah.
Can't wait for my golden ticket to Hawthorne Island arrives in the mail to...
Ah!